Hi, and welcome back to day 5 of the Living with Purpose Challenge. My name is Shawanda Randolph, and I am here to help you to live in purpose and on purpose. So over the next 30 days, we're going to continue talking about living in purpose and different ways in which you can start learning how to live in purpose and what that means for you. So we've kind of talked about finding your purpose, what that looks like what is your actual purpose, why living in purpose matters. And so we've talked about how living with purpose actually brings more meaning to your life and helps you to live a more fulfilled life as well. So today we want to talk about what you do for a living and what you do for a living and why that even matters. So when you think about that, what do you do? What do you actually do? And if you start thinking about what you do on a daily basis for employment, career, or whatever that is, right? How does it matter to you? What is the value of that? So when you think about the things that we've talked about earlier, such as creating a value system for you, does what you do line up with your value system? This is important because when we talk about our job, our career, and how we earn money, our finances, it's a big part of how we define ourselves, and also a big part of how others will define us as well, and how they see us. It's often one of the biggest pieces of information that we share with others, which is what we do. If you think about in a normal conversation, I don't care where you are and what you're doing, people ask, well, who are you? And you tell them. You tell them your name and all of that, but then they say, well, what do you do for a living? And so you can call it judgmental, but it's one of those things where people are trying to figure out who you are, because what you do definitely does make an impact. Now, don't think that you have to go out and be this superhero kind of person and that's the only way you're going to make an impact in the world, right? But it's if what you're doing actually lines up with your core values. Because if it does not, then one, you're not going to give your best effort in what you're doing. You're also not going to show up as your best self every time you go in. And what you're feeling, what you're going through, how you connect with the place that you're working or what you're doing for a living will definitely spread to others. Those feelings and emotions and things that you're feeling every day of not liking what you're doing, it's going to show. There's going to be fruit from what you are doing. Now, there's always fruit from what you're doing. It's just whether or not that's bad fruit or good fruit, right? So if you show up every day, you're angry, you're frustrated, you're annoyed because you actually don't want to be where you are, then in every aspect of what you do, whether it is filing papers, whether it is having a conversation with someone else, or you have to do customer service or what have you, your behavior, your attitude is actually going to show, and it's going to be evident that you don't like it. And therefore, because you're having a tough time, then now you are even subconsciously giving someone else a tough time. In other words, your problem is now someone else's problem. If you're in a place where you are not liking it, it feels like work, it feels like the most dreary thing that you have to do every day, then maybe it's time to consider or reconsider what you're doing and why you're doing it. When you talk about your time, if you think about the time that you're spending in each place that you don't enjoy, think about how much of that you're giving to make someone else's life better, but yet your life is not. Now, just because you're thinking, okay, well, I have to pay bills, right? I get it. We all have some type of something that we have to pay in order for us to have the life that we do. But do you have to devalue your time and devalue yourself, devalue your self-worth in order for you to live? Well, the answer is no, you don't. You have a choice. Sometimes it doesn't feel like you do. Part of feeling like you don't have a choice is your perspective on who you are, who created you, and why you were created. So that's why you really need to go back to watching day 1 through 4 so that you can now keep up with what's going on and take all of that information so that you can keep moving forward, okay? Because that information we went through from day 1 through 4 is really going to help you to make the connection to understanding what you're doing and why you're doing that thing for a living. Now, sometimes, again, you need to make a change, and a change can be a really good thing. It can be good for your mind, body, and spirit. Because remember, when you're living more intentionally, when you're living a more meaningful life, then you become more fulfilled. Think about anything that brings you joy. Now, you can have a job as a greeter at Walmart or a greeter at Sam's Club, and actually that can be very fulfilling, because if you think about it, when someone comes in every day and they see you as that greeter, you have the ability to help change the course of any person's day that walks through that door. You never know what they're going through. You never know what they're feeling. You don't know what they're experiencing or what their circumstances are. But you are the first person that they see when they walk in. Now, if you are happy to be there, if you are happy to be in that position, then that is going to extend out to the next person, which means you're going to be able to smile. You're going to be able to give them a friendly greeting. You're going to be friendly towards them. And so therefore people will see that and feel that and experience that. And so that helps you to make an impact in someone else's life. Now, you use that same example and say, well, I'm a greeter at Walmart, but yet the mentality you have is, I'm just a greeter at Walmart. Well, if you downplay what you do and you don't see the benefit of what you're doing, one, you might want to dig a little bit deeper to realize that everything that you do, no matter where you are, can have a profound impact on someone else's life, even a greeter at Walmart. Even if you are someone who works in sanitation, because you're making a difference in the community, you're making a difference in people's lives. So you're making a difference, because without you and without that job that you have, think about what our communities would look like. Think about what our streets would look like. Would it be safe for the people to live? Would it be safe for the children to go out and play? So everything has purpose. The question is, are you finding meaning in what you're doing, and are you enjoying it? So 2 things for you today. 1, where are you working, and do you enjoy it? Do you find that there is a purpose, or that you're able to make an impact in what you're doing? And then 2, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, the question becomes, why? Is it that your perspective needs to change on where you are, or you actually need to change what you're doing? So those are some things that you want to think about. And again, we definitely understand what it means when you have to take care of your responsibilities. I get it. I'm a single mom. So I get how trying that can be. But here's the thing for me, is that when you are a parent, you have people watching you. And it's not just the people in your community, it's not just the people at your jobs. You have the next generation that is watching you and your response and how you walk through life. And so you will either set the prime example of why living with purpose matters, and that doing things very intentionally, very deliberately is very important. Or you're going to set that example of, well, you just got to get out here, you got to hustle, you got to do whatever it takes to make things work. And it doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter what your livelihood looks like. It doesn't matter what your health looks like. It doesn't matter that you have bad relationships with other people because you yourself are not happy. Which example are you going to set? Because the next generation, I promise you, they don't want a life full of stress. They don't want a life full of anxiety. But if you are walking around full of stress and anxiety because of something that you have placed on yourself, because you don't like being where you are, you dread it every single day, and you refuse to make a change, then that's the legacy that you're leaving behind. So what you do actually matters. It matters to you. It matters to your health. It matters to your mindset. And it does make an impact on the people around you, whether it is the people at your actual job, the people that you connect with every day. And it also matters to those within your family and in your households, because it starts with a legacy that you are leaving behind. And we definitely want to leave a legacy of what it means to live in purpose and on purpose and be able to have a meaningful life that brings us joy. That's something that you can teach the next generation. So think about the things that you might want to change for your life, and write those things down and seek God. Because remember, we've talked about seeking God for answers and seeking God for wisdom. So that's your tip for today. Hopefully this was enjoyable to you. I pray that you seek God to have the answers that you need to be able to make the changes that you need to in your life so that you can have a more fulfilled life, especially in what you do on a day-to-day basis. My name is Shawanda Randolph. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe so that you can get the notifications for the messages each and every day. Bye for now.